Welcome to this week's episode of 0 to a Million, brought to you by Unstack. I'm your host, Zach Rego, and today I'm joined by Anila Adnani, co-founder of Habitaware, a smart bracelet that uses custom gesture detection and awareness training to help people with trichotillomania. Today I'm joined by Ryan Smith, head of partnerships at Emotive, a company helping merchants drive more sales faster with conversational text messaging, purpose-built for e-commerce. Today I'm joined by Nathan Rothstein, co-founder of Project Repat, a mission-driven company repurposing your old t-shirts into high-quality quilts. Today I'm joined by Philip Rivers, founder and CEO of Tetra Marketing, a small yet mighty email agency that drives sales. Today I'm joined by Melissa Tavs, founder and CEO of Tipsy Scoops, a liquor-infused ice cream. Today I'm joined by Kelly and Laura Moffett, co-founders of Kieran Finch, a clothing company focused on breaking gender barriers and embracing freedom of expression. Today I'm joined by Albert Matheny, president of ProMix Nutrition, a company that's bringing natural protein and supplements to market with no artificial anything. Today I'm joined by David Roger, co-founder and CEO of Felix Gray, the original best-in-class blue light eyewear company. Today I'm joined by Gihan Amarasir Wadena, co-founder and president of Ministry of Supply, a work leisure brand that's driving comfort through material science. Today I'm joined by Chris Mead, co-founder and CMO of Crossnet, the world's first four-square volleyball game.
The change with iOS and sort of not being able to track so much, I think it really just came down to, we don't know what the numbers mean, right? Like, we can see numbers, but we don't know what the truth is behind them. So yeah, it's been a little tricky, but I think we're slowly starting to see some rebounds there in terms of like engagement with the ads, conversion, and sort of cost per lead or cost per click going back down. It's never easy to just say this is the formula because it's constantly changing. The algorithms are constantly changing, or just different things are happening. Like during the political campaigns, we were getting so drowned out. We just said let's just turn everything off for a little bit. That kind of thing, that our costs were going way up for impressions that in that time period. So you really do have to be monitoring it and making sure that things are working and turning things off, turning things on, turning things, changing language and all that stuff. It's just also something that if you're a very small team, it's hard to do. So it's really been helpful to have experts support us in that.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head about like converting as many of your customers to an own channel as possible. That's really where I see a lot of this going. There's just so much uncertainty with social media in these different areas where e-commerce brands are typically getting a lot of their traffic from. At any point in time, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they all have the ability to like shut down your channel or suppress your reach. And that's really scary for merchants. And that's why the most important thing is always to get them onto a channel that you completely control. You have full autonomy to send whatever you want, whenever you want to that customer to reach out to them. But where the industry is definitely moving away from is just those typical one-way blasts. We get a piece of mail. It started when you get a piece of mail in the mailbox, right? That says, hey, here's a coupon code to go to Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever. Well, that's not very personalized. And that's where we see the industry really starting to trend towards is how can we incorporate more of a human element into our brands? And how can we engage in two-way interactions with all of our customers? And that's really what led me to come to Emotive in the first place. I know this is a little bit biased, but the idea of continuing to find new ways to evolve interaction with your customers. How can we engage them in different channels in a two-way aspect? Maybe email one day will have a back and forth type of complexity to it, where you can actually send an email back to the company that you're working with, and you can get a personalized response back in real time instead of waiting for a support team to get back to you. The way we've handled SMS is the same way we want to try to incorporate that into other areas of e-commerce, as far as real human staff chatbots, interactive ads that you can actually engage with and learn more about, hey, why is it the right product for us to use? And along those same lines, we've seen simple things like quizzes on a website to like learn more about a customer. Take this quiz or take this persona test to figure out what the right product is for you. It's all about getting as much data from the customer as possible to just make everything more and more personalized throughout the whole process.
I think a key lesson is finding, as your business grows, is finding good Shopify developers, and we have one great Shopify developer that we work with consistently, and so that's been great. And I would say I think one of our biggest mistakes. I think it's a mistake that I see a lot of e-commerce companies making early on, is not focusing on email lead capture as soon as possible. Because I just think about it as, okay, if you believe in your business and you're spending money to get people to your website, if you're not using as many methods to kind of make use of that money, you're wasting the money that you're spending getting traffic. And so it's like just a number one rule now, which I think a lot more people understand. But I remember how few people had pop-ups even like a few years ago. But now I think a lot more people get that.
And I feel like with what's been happening with Facebook now, the iOS 14, and like performance is volatile, it's inconsistent, etc. I guess what I'm particularly excited about is I think overall the market, people that are running e-com stores or businesses at large that are advertising on Facebook, are starting to wise up to be like, holy smokes, I can't bank on ads for everything. It's too volatile. I have no control. CPMs are going up, CPAs going up across the board. So it's like, now what can I do to sort of mitigate risk or diversify and have more control over my traffic and sales? And so I guess I'm selfishly excited and optimistic that people are starting to wake up a little bit and like revisit email and SMS so they have more control, because there's really nowhere else to get the benefits that it provides.
Instagram is definitely how a lot of people find us, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok now. But yeah, we do a lot of email marketing. We do a lot of different win-back programs because there's like you said, in the beginning it was kind of like explaining to people that food could be shipped to their door. And now it's like explaining to them the cost of that, or like how it's going to happen. So like for us, that's kind of like, we have a pretty high abandonment rate on our website. So it's really important for us to kind of win people back by like explaining to them the process of like, no, you can order the ice cream on this date if you want to get it on this date, or, like have it shipped this way if you need to save on this. Like, so there's still a lot of, people that don't understand that you're going to get ice cream and it's going to be frozen and it's going to be delicious.
When we launched, we wanted to have our customers, like Kelly said, feel empowered, feel confident, feel like a brand got them, right? Really understood their values. And I think the Dapper Scouts was one way that we wanted to do that, by providing that kind of, it's like brand ambassadors, but it's more about providing empowerment and providing visibility and acceptance. Because if you go to most fashion websites, all you see is these, skinny models. Like, let's be honest, right? You don't necessarily see a lot of like real people, although that is beginning to change. I see that a lot with plus size fashion, that there's starting to be a lot more visibility around like acceptance and different types of body types. But I think a few years ago that didn't exist. It was the standard kind of model, traditional model. And we wanted to kind of go against that, because we also were providing a new product that didn't necessarily cater to like the just typical person.
And I think it's far more than just about body size or what you look like, but all these people in our community have really interesting stories to tell, right? Mm-hmm. And they are relatable. And so it was our way of saying to the people that are shopping from us, like, this isn't just about us, right? It's about creating community. It's about creating acceptance. And, we'll get the like parent that's like, my kid just came out, like, I don't know what to do. And we'll say like, okay, well, hey, check out some of these stories, right? Or someone's like, I'm exploring, like, I think I might be trans or whatever, right? And it's a resource. It's not just about, selling clothes. It's about creating community.
Education around things is really helpful. If you I think a lot of people understand some of the key products. They understand the use case for them. Like, I try to keep it simple from the perspective of, protein. If as a dietitian, if I could recommend one thing, and this is not just for men or women trying to add muscle or get big in the gym. And like the thing I always say, which you may or may not have heard, if I think people worry about getting bulky, and it's like, if it was really easy to get bulky, there'd be a lot more bulky guys in the gym, because most of the guys in there are trying to get big, and it's obviously not that easy. So you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, yeah, right. So, but nutritionally, protein is something that I think across the board I see over and over again people lack. So as far as talking to, maybe they come in and look at a protein, and then it's just about educating them on the benefits of other products that might help them if they're working out or whatever it might be, or just, again, like the mission for me was in part, if someone's having, it doesn't have to be purely just workouts. We have a pre-workout that's awesome. I've formulated it, it's safe, it's, a clean product. And if somebody can take a pre-workout instead of having a Monster Energy, like, it's a great alternative. You're not getting synthetic flavors or sugars or anything like that. So you just have a much cleaner kind of product. So that's part of it, is talking to people, showing them what's there, making sure, something we've evolved the site and continue to do is like simplify it. Like, it's very easy to have kind of just SKU creep, where you just think that you're gonna do more sales if you create more products, but it's really I think simplification of things has been really helpful.
That's just really cool to be able to potentially, you're using them to find new customers, they're using you to have this new brand that people are really excited about, and it's a really nice symbiotic relationship. And we're working with retailers that really make sense, like a Best Buy, like a GameStop. Another thing that's really important is, in 2020 we started looking long and hard and saying, okay, yes, we've created like the best in class blue-light eyewear. The product that we have is amazing. I still read every review, and it always, my favorite part of my day is just reading a review of someone saying something like, I no longer get migraines. Like, that's just always awesome. But we started thinking, okay, well, why do we start the company, and really what is the bigger picture here? And for us, it's always been centered around this idea of improving the relationship between people and technology. Right, so we didn't start an eyewear company to create a cheaper pair of glasses. We didn't start an eyewear company to like have the best design. Like, obviously those are important to us, but we started because our eyes were killing us, right? We weren't evolved to be in front of screens all day, every day. Our eyes were bothering us. How do you help address that? And so our thought is, there's a variety of different aspects of our relationship with technology that we can improve, right? There's obviously the level of like both short-term eye comfort and potential long-term eye health, right? Which we work on. There's sleep and how blue light suppresses melatonin secretion. There is the ergonomics in terms of, hey, your back, your neck, your wrist may be hurting. There is the desire to feel more energetic, more productive, because a lot of people are using this as a workplace productivity tool. And so we're identifying those aspects and saying, okay, well, what other products can we build into those areas? And then how do we own the larger conversation around this idea of, again, improving the relationship between you and your technology, what we call digital wellness, right? So if people care about the food they put into their bodies, the type of exercise they get, that, their mental health.
How can we legitimize this business that it's not Chris and Greg me slinging volleyball nets from my mom's basement, but that's really what it is. We didn't have no VC money. We didn't know anybody. We didn't have somebody hand us $1 million and say, hey, we'll get you on Forbes tomorrow. It was, we're grinding this out. We've pulled out our 401ks. We've liquidated everything. If we blow this cash, we're back to our miserable jobs and back to where we started. So that's really how it was, and that's how it was so important to be so smart with our money. So we never paid for press a day in our life. It was reaching out and being genuine. The best thing has been LinkedIn for us. Like, I built up a very, very nice LinkedIn following. I love to read. I don't know about you, but I genuinely enjoy reading like good entrepreneur pieces. So I'd read stuff from either people that are actually now buddies of mine, like Truff or Tenzo T, or like some good, really up and coming like DC brands. And I'd just reach out to the writer and I'd say, yo, dope piece, like really, really good. Like, If you're looking for something new to write about, Crossnet would be a great fit, I think. Here's why, because of XYZ reasons. If not, no harm. Great work. Keep up the great work. I look forward to reading more of your stuff. I'd be so damn surprised how many people wrote back being like, yo, Crossnet actually looks sick. Want to jump on a call. And that's exactly how I got Forbes. And then Forbes did a featured piece on us. And then they did another one, you know? And then we got Forbes 30 under 30. So it was like, yeah, just being genuine and not like snake oil salesman, you know?
You know, everyone's aware of just kind of the dependency on paid social, in particular, you know, Facebook and Instagram, of diversifying channels, and this realization that we like to think of ourselves as our aspirations are to become like the Dyson of apparel, right? It's really a better user experience driven through innovation and technology, right? And for us, our application is apparel, and what they do really well is they make the technology something that we can all understand, but at the same time, it's like, it's amazing. It's like you're just kind of wowed by the graphics and the experience that they've created. So that's something that we think a lot of the kind of video communications channels are really good for, whether that's TikTok, whether that's stories, or YouTube, for example. We're trying to lean more into those where we can tell that story. And it goes back to Kickstarter, where we started, right? It was Kickstarter was a place where most of the people who land on a Kickstarter video, it was like 60% of it, of the people that came to the page would watch the entire 2-minute video, right? And nowhere have we seen a conversion experience like that. And so we're starting to do more and more video ads, a little bit longer form. We're talking 30 seconds, right, where you can tell a story. We just kind of started doing it. So that's kind of what's on the docket for us.